Today we're going to start the bottom of Lam Zion, Hamad Beis. That's 37b.
Where we ended up yesterday.
3 lines from bottom.
Rabbi knows about Kabbalah, that studies in there. He said it was like Howard.
Uh-huh.
There.
That's what I
Thank Hashem that we're able to learn every day. For the learning. Starts like this. Bishlam Lamandam or Bishlam means it works out well, right? It's good. It's good according to the opinion that holds Moshav. It says the word Moshav by Chadash. Moshav means in your dwelling places. Moshav Vesechem, I think the word was. It says, what does that mean? Kol makom shatim yeshiv masher. Hey, very nice. Means
Yes.
every.
No, I saw you.
Very nice. See.
Good morning.
Kol makom shatim yeshiv masher. That means anywhere where you live. That means even outside of Eretz Yisrael. We had a discussion yesterday. What is the word when it says Moshav in your dwelling places? Does it mean after the settlement of the land of Israel? Does it mean 14 years in? Or does it mean even outside the land of Israel? Two possibilities. So one opinion is the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer. He held that it meant that even outside the land of Israel, it does not mean that it takes 14 years before this law starts. So it could start right away. The meaning of Moshav was that it's even outside the land of Israel. Kol makom shatim yeshiv. So if that's the case, then Hainu the Ksiv, then we're going to explain what the pasuk means. Vayochlu ma'avor haaretz b'machras haPesach. It says when they came into the land of Israel, the book of Yeshua discusses the entry into the land. It says that after the first Pesach, it says they were able to eat the grain from the land. Now, okay.
So there were some laws that were implemented just as they got into Eretz Yisrael some 14 years later.
Yeah. So if it says Moshav, then there was one opinion that held that it was 14 years later. We're saying it works out well according to the opinion that doesn't say that, because the pasuk says that when they came into the land of Israel, they waited until Pesach and they started to eat from the new grain. Now, when after Pesach they ate, but they weren't able to eat before. That means that the rules of Chadash, of the new grain, applied the very first year when they entered into the land of Israel, not 14 years later.
Actually, the first day.
Right. No, it was really, they entered in on the 10th of Nisan.
Okay,
Right, that's when they crossed the...
So
14 years later. 4 days later, they were able...
later.
Yeah. It's really 6 days later, because it would be the day after Pesach. Pesach is the 15th, and this is the day after that, after the first day of Yom Tov. I shouldn't say Pesach. Pesach is the 14th. Chag HaMatzos is the 15th. And the day after is the... Okay. So Alma, we see, Aymed, Bahadar, I'm sorry, Akrav Aymer, Bahadar Achal. You have to bring the Aymer, and then they're able to eat. But according to Rabbi Shmuel, that he learned Lachirush Yeshiva, that when it says the word Moshav, which it says by the laws of Chadash, of the new grain, it takes 14 years. Nechal Alter. The laws didn't apply. Why they have to wait till Pesach to start eating the new grain? They could have eaten it right away. The prohibition didn't take place. Gemara answers, not a classical Gemara answer. Gemara answers, they didn't eat it because they didn't need it. They still had food. Yeah. The Ksiv, how do we know they had food? It says, Bnei Yisrael achlo esaman arbaim shana adbaim alers neshaves esaman achlo adbaim l'katzeres Canaan. The pasuk says that the Jewish people ate the man for 40 years until they came to the settled land, and the man they ate until they came to the edge of the land of Canaan. Now, Ef Shalaimar adbaim alers neshaves. You can't say that it was until they came to settled land. That means Israel proper. Shekvar Nemal Katzayat's Eretz Canaan, because it says they ate it until the edge, which is not Israel proper, it's only outside. You can't say that they only ate the man until they came to the edge, which would be the plains of Mayav, probably. Because it says they ate it until they came to Israel proper. Okay, so how does this work? Did they eat it until the edge of the land of Canaan? You see, it's a contradiction. Till outside or till inside? When did they stop eating the man? So the Gemara explains, B'Shiva B'Adar Meis. What really happened was Moshe Rabbeinu passed away on the 7th of Adar. I'm sorry, B'Shiva B'Adar Meis Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu passed away on the 7th of Adar. The Pasuk Man Milaid, the man was in the merit of Moshe. Once Moshe passed away, so the man stops. What did they do after? But they survived. Mistapik, like Mistapik B'Mu'at. They survived. They made it through with the man that remained. Usually the man didn't last for more than a day, right? They had to get every day. But here it lasted. Right. Here it lasted for over 30 days until Shisha Asar B'Nisan, until the 16th of Nisan. Be a month and a week. So. Yeah, preservatives. Okay. Tanya Idach. That answers our question, right? What was our question? He asked according to Rabbi Shmuel, they didn't eat the man. According to Rabbi Shmuel, they didn't. Why didn't they eat them? Why didn't they eat the new grain right away? The answer was because they didn't eat it. And then they didn't eat it because we have a proof. Contradiction in the pasuk tells me that they had the man all the way until that time. Okay. Taniyidach. There's another brayse here. 1 second. Another brayse. Brayse says, Bnei Yisrael achlo samana b'yom shana. The Jewish people ate the man for 40 years. Did they eat it really for 40 years? They only ate it for 40 years minus 30 days. Now, we're not talking about the 30 days at the end now that we have a problem with. We have a problem with the first 30 days. Because when they came out of Egypt, the month didn't really start right away until they complained about this. And then the man came, the Moshe Rabbeinu said, tomorrow there's going to be man. And
Brought some matzah with it.
they had matzah with them. Very good. I'm sorry. They didn't run out of food. Elolei Malach comes to tell you something interesting. That the man that they brought, the matzah that they brought from Egypt tasted like man. Like soy, like tofu. You can flavor it however you want, right? Right? They overheard a parent telling their child in the desert, said, "Don't let me catch you thinking about your ice cream before you think about your string beans." Okay. Tani Idach. Started in the Brisa, B'Shiva B'Adar Meis Moshe, B'Shiva B'Adar Noilat. On the 7th of Adar, Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, and on the 7th of Adar, he was born. So then it's funny how it does it like the opposite way. I think I remember Sikha about that. Anyway, Minayan Shabashiva B'Adar Meis. How do we? From where do we know?
Say that they died and he was born rather than the opposite.
Yeah, what I remember is by the Sikha was about by Haman that he knew that he died. He didn't know that he was born. I think the Rebbe over there explained something about this. Okay, so bad luck. Right. How do we know that he passed away then? Shenemar v'yam Hashem Moshe Eved Hashem. It says that Moshe Rabbeinu, the servant of Hashem, passed away. It says that the Jewish people cried in the plains of Moab 30 days over his passing. And it says in this is the opening of the book of Yeshua. It says, and after Moshe, the servant of Hashem, passed away, and it also says Moshe Avdi Meis. Again, chapter 1 of Yeshua. Moshe, my servant, passed away. About to come avar, now get up and go over. Prepare yourselves with provisions, because in 3 days you're going to pass over the Jordan. And it says that they went over the Jordan on the 10th day. Now, they cried for 30 days. Then he says, prepare for 3 days. And then 3 days later, they pass over. Backwards. So that means it goes back from the 10th of Nisan back a month plus 3 days would be the 7th of Adar. 10th of Nisan, 1 month back would be 10th of Adar. -3 is 7. This was the -3 first. -3 from 10 of Nisan is the 7th of Nisan, back 1 month. You go back 33 days. We see that Moshe Rabbeinu passed away on the 7th of Adar. How do you know that he was born on the 7th? Because it says in the pasuk, it says to them, I'm 120 years old and I'm not allowed to go in and out. I'm not able to. I'm not allowed to. Rashi over there. Why does it say hayayim? What is the meaning of I am today 120 days, 120 years old? That Hashem makes the days of the tzaddikim exact, fills it exact to the day and to the month, so that when he says he's 120 years old, he's exactly 120 years old. Okay.
He wouldn't be alive to say it.
I'm sorry?
He wouldn't be alive to say it.
Oh, if it would be afterwards.
It's time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The last word has time.
Doesn't say, I guess it doesn't say to the minute.
The hour?
It doesn't say to the hour, just to the day. Yes, what's your first name? Shalom. Shalom Juin is bringing up a question. If he was born, you see, if Zion Ba'adar is his birthday, then Zion Adar is already a year and a day. It would have to be like before the time of what time he was born. I don't know what time he was born, but it'd have to be that he passed away at that time if it would be exact, right? It would be literally exact. And how does he say today I am 120? At that moment, he's either 119 or he's 120 in a day, in an hour. So how do you get it exact? That's a good question.
Ben Hashmashos. On both ends.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's not day and not night. Uh-huh. Maybe. Okay. So, but that would be Hashem knows, you know. Anyway. Tanya Reb Shimon ben Yochai Yomer. Shimon ben Yochai says, it's a brisa. We have Reb Shimon ben Yochai teaching. Shalish mitzvahs nistava Yisrael b'chnisasam la'aretz v'nai Spain bar Spain b'chutz la'aretz. V'hu adin she'yinagu. There's 3 mitzvahs that apply, that the Jewish people were commanded when they came into the land, and they apply in the land of Israel and outside the land of Israel. And it's a kal v'chomer that they should apply. Now those mitzvahs are, we learned in the Mishnah, Chadash, Arla, and Kalayim. Remember? He's just taking, not just the Tanakama held that it was Arla and Kalayim. And Rabbi Eliezer held that it was Chadash also. Comes along Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, and he says that we have a kal v'chomer for it to be prohibited outside the land of Israel. How does this work? It says, Ma Chadash, Sheini Suri Yisraelim, when it comes to Chadash. Now, by Chadash, the interesting thing is, Chadash is the only one where it says, Moshe V'seichem. So, and if Moshav means anywhere where you live, doesn't have to mean after the 14 years. He'll take that opinion, which is the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer. Moshav means anywhere where you live. And let's take a look at Chodesh itself. So Chodesh is in the Torah that it applies outside the land of Israel. And any Surah Yisraelim, the prohibition doesn't last forever. It lasts only until I'm not sure what any Surah Yisraelim means. Only lasts until the 16th of Nisan, or until they bring the Aimer, right? And Ve'in Isur Yisur Hana, and it's not prohibited to have benefit from. In other words, you're only not allowed to eat the Chadash.
Because you could feed it to your animals.
Right. The Yesh Hetel Yisur, right? And the same produce that was prohibited now becomes permissible. Actually, the way Rashi learns it, Yesh Hetel Yisur means that on the 16th itself, you don't have to wait till the end of the day, because you could bring the Aimer and it becomes mutter even earlier in the day. Okay. And nevertheless,
Can you bring the Omer on the 12th? Then?
No. But on
you have to wait 16.
Yeah, till the 16th. But there is a heter li'isura even on the 16th. You could get it early if you bring the Aimer earlier. I would have. Okay, whatever. Let's go further. But nevertheless, it applies in Eretz Yisrael and outside the land of Israel. So, in other words, even a lenient law like this, but it's strict that it applies outside the land of Israel. Kilayim, when it comes to Kilayim, Sheisur Yisraelim, that is never permissible. And in other words, if you put grain in a vineyard, the produce becomes prohibited forever. V'isur Nisr Hana.
Are the Kalayim like the Bikulim?
No, Kilayim is a forbidden mixture in a vineyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plant two together.
Crossbreeding.
Right. And there is no Isur Yisraelim, the Isur Nisr Hana, and it's also you're not allowed to benefit from it. You can't do anything with it. You can't even give it as a gift. Vein heter li'isuran, and that produce that became prohibited is never becomes permissible.
So I hear you could eat
Yeah.
that was crossbred, but just not plant.
Yeah, we'll see that soon. So if something that's weak, which is chadash, has those stringencies that it's in the land of Israel and outside the land of Israel, so kalayim, which is strict, for sure should have the stringencies, right? If a weak person can lift 10 pounds, for sure a strong person can lift 10 pounds. So if chadash, so if kal means light and chaymer is heavy. So if chadash has those stringencies, so for sure kalayim, which is strict, has those stringencies. Now, even though Arla only has 2 of these things, because Arla does become permissible after the 3 years. So it's not Isuri Isur Olam. It's not always prohibited. But nevertheless, it does have the other 2 laws that there's no hetel Isur, right? In other words, the produce that was prohibited never becomes permitted. The second year fruits never become permitted. Right? Even if you preserve them for another 10 years, they're not permitted. Those are and it's also Yisra Hana. So we have a Kal V'Chaimer, at least 2 out of the 3. Okay, that's the opinion of Rabbi Shmuel, that based on a Kal V'Chaimer, we have Chadash, Arla, and Kalayim is prohibited outside the land of Israel in Chutz La'aretz. Rabbi Elazar bar Shimon argues on his father. The Gillian Ashas, Rabbi Akiva Eiger, makes a point of telling us another example of where we find this. That Rabbi Elazar bar Shimon argues on. It sends us to Shabbos. Okay. Says Kol mitzvah shenitztavu Yisrael kaidem knisasam la'aretz. Any mitzvah that the Jewish people were commanded before they came into the land, which is referring to things that are not obligations of agriculture, of growth from the ground. It means chayvas aguf. Things have to do with just on the person. That applies whether it's in the land of Israel or outside the land of Israel. So outside the land of Israel, but things that have to do with the ground, and once they entered into the land, it only applies in the land of Israel. So he's being lenient. He says that Arla, Kalayim, and Chadash only apply in Israel. He argues with his father. Except for loans which disappear, which are by the Shemitah, right? And also the sending out of the slaves that applies at the end of the Shemitah. Shemitah or Yovel that the slaves go out. Yovel, the slaves go out. Yovel, the slaves go out. They
The person that loaned you the money says to you after like 2 years, still, and he loans you more money. He says, right, you still owe me that other money, right? You say yes. Does that make it retro, go forward 2 years? Is that you still owe
I
him
think
the
it's
money?
annulled. It's annulled, right? It's annulled. Yeah. Even though those only took effect, they were only commanded after they came into the land. That does apply. Now the Gemara is going to explain where he knows this from. What are you telling me, Ashmatas Ksafim, that the loans get annulled, and that only applies in the land of Israel? That has to do with the person. Look at the Tanya. What we needed is because it says in the Brisa, the Tanya Rabbi Yomer, Zedvar Shmita Shemait. These are the laws of Shmita Shemait. You annul. We're talking about 2 types of Shmitas. Acha Shmitas Karka. One is that you need to leave the land fallow. Acha Shmitas Ksafim, and one is that you annul the loans. Bisman Shatim Meshamit Karka, when you are keeping the Shemitah of leaving the land fallow, which means after they came into the land of Israel, that's when the loans get annulled. But if you're not leaving the land fallow, you didn't come into the land of Israel yet, or if you left Israel, then you don't, the loans don't get annulled. The Gemara asks, maybe it means only in the place where you leave the land fallow, which is only in the land of Israel. That's where the loans get annulled. Loans in New York don't get annulled because you don't leave the land fallow every 7 years. Maybe that's what it means. It says because it's called Shemitah for Hashem wherever it is. So in other words, this is a source that Shemitah, that the loans getting annulled take place after they came into the land of Israel, but they apply even outside the land of Israel. What about the sending out of the slaves?
Say that again, the last one?
They only took effect after they came into the land of Israel, not in the desert,
right?
But it applies even outside the land of Israel once it took effect. Shemitah Ksafim.
But only Bisman Shabbos. Or is that what we do?
We do a prosbal, but it seems like Lacha Shigalo.
But it's not. No one. It's not enforced in any way.
Now the question is, why today is there no Shemitah? Why are you saying there's no Shemitah today? Why does Rashi say Lacha Shigalo? There's no Shemitah today because there's no Jewish people. I said there are Jewish people in Israel. There's a discussion. There's a discussion about if Shemitah applies when there's no Yovel, and
but they are doing Shemitah in Israel,
right? And that may be rabbinic. Yeah,
but then Shemitah Ksafim.
It's for sure rabbinic. Yeah, there's a discussion in Taisvus about this. If Shemitah nowadays is deraisa. Okay. Sending out the slaves, that's something that has to do with land, that has to do with the person. Why should that only be after they came into the land of Israel? It could enter your mind to say, that you call freedom. Dror means freedom. You call freedom to the land. Could have thought that it's only in the land of Israel, not outside the land. You say that it's Yovel wherever it is, even outside the land of Israel. So why do you say that you call freedom to the land? It says on the Liberty Bell, this verse, right? Bisman shahadror noyig baretz, when the Yovel is applied, that means after they came into the land of Israel, then noyig b'chutzlaretz, then it applies everywhere. Ein jar noig baretz, ein jar ein noig b'chutz la'aretz. If it doesn't apply, there's no yovel because the Jewish people didn't enter the land of Israel, or because we don't have the Jewish people in the land of Israel, then it doesn't apply outside the land of Israel either. Okay. That would be his source, that even though it only takes effect once we came into the land, but once we came into the land, it takes effect even outside the land as well. Those two items. The annulment of the loans and also the freeing of the slaves.
That's the yo-yo.
On the Yovel, yeah.
So none of the generation went into Israel that was there when they go to calf, right?
Right.
He says you should call.
And the women.
Talking about
And
if you're
the
observant or not.
Sorry?
You're talking about if you're observant or not. I say go to Israel.
Right. That's when it started, when they came in. Right. So they made it in. Yeah. Okay. Tanan Hassam was taught in a Mishnah over there in Arla. It says, Hachadash Asr min atayra b'chol makim. The new grain is prohibited everywhere, even outside the land of Israel. Mishnah. Okay. Arla says is halacha. Chadash was min atayra. That's biblical. Arla is just a halacha. We'll have to see what that means. But kalayim divrei seifrim. And the kalayim is rabbinic. Divrei seifrim from the scribes. My halacha. What do you mean halacha? Am Rav Yehuda Mishmol hilchos in Medina. It means it's a custom. So they translate Medina. Like the rabbis instituted, they should behave like this. Ula Am Rabbi Yochanan. Ula says the name of Rabbi Yochanan halach l'mesh misinai. No, it's much more strict than just this rabbinic law. It's a tradition from Moshe, which is almost a daraisa, right? We have a Torah, it's written in the text. We have a oral tradition from Moshe, and it could be rabbinic. What is it?
You guess your attorney?
What's the chiddush?
When you mention about Moshe and being born and died on the same day in Tzaddikim, that's where they are. It's not even a chiddush, it's not even a question. Because if, like with the Rebbe, if the whole life of the tzaddik in this world is really in the next world, I mean, he's at that level. There's no difference between his birth and his death because he's always, in a higher level. So no wonder he dies on the same day he was born because there's no difference.
Give me some of his coffee.
Okay.
I don't know about the hour question that you asked to the hour to
Okay. Amalei Ula Rav Yehuda. Ula says to Rav Yehuda, Bishleim Ladidi. See, Ula said it over in the name of Rabbi Yochanan that Arla is that Arla outside the land of Israel is halach l'Moshe misinai. Is a tradition from Moshe, which means it's stricter than just rabbinic law. And Rav Yehuda, he's telling this to Rav Yehuda because Rav Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel that Arla is only rabbinic law. So Ula tells him, if you go according to me, that it's more stricter than rabbinic law, then the following is going to work out well. But according to you, there's going to be a problem. That's, I say that it's halach l'Moshe misinai. I say in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Ula was one that brought Rabbi Yochanan's teachings, a lot of them. That's why you're going to notice that there's a distinction. There's a difference between Arla, that's a doubt. We're not sure if it's Arla. And Kalayim, that's a doubt. Yeah, but here we're talking about grain. We're talking about, not grain, we're talking about fruits on a tree that possibly is 3 years old, or possibly fruits from a tree that's 3 years old. We don't know which fruits or something like that. There's a suffix. The Tanan, it was started in the Mishnah. Suffix Arla Baret. You go into the supermarket in the land of Israel, and you want to buy fruit. You don't know. It doesn't say on it that it's not Arla. It's also can't buy it. Yeah, you have to be definitely that it's not Arla. Syria. Let's see, go into Syria. No, Syria is from the lands that were conquered by David HaMelech. It did become part of Israel, but it was considered like a private inheritance, it wasn't considered that it was Israel proper. Why? Because the entire Israel wasn't. You can expand the land of Israel, but that's only if you have all the land of Israel already. Then you can expand it, because there were little pockets that weren't conquered yet, and then they conquered Syria. So it wasn't that Israel was complete. If Israel would have been complete, then Syria would have become Israel proper. Would have become Israel proper, but it wasn't like that. So therefore, Syria is has some laws like Israel, some not. The rabbis made it like Israel, but in this case, in Syria, it's mutter. Safek arla is mutter. Mutter means that if
In a Suffolk, you're. It's less stringent.
yeah, just 1 second. What does mutter mean exactly? If it was already collected. Okay. However, b'chutz la'aretz, if it's totally outside the land of Israel, yored v'lekeach, it can actually go to the property, and that has arla trees in it, and you can buy from this non-Jew that's standing outside the property. B'vachla yirena like it. He has like a little table stand outside the property. You look inside, you see all the small trees there, all the arla. As long as you didn't see him picking it. Why? Because it could be those fruits came from outside the property. You don't know, you didn't see him picking it. So even though the odds are that it came from the property, but you can be that lenient and buy from that right outside that property, as long as you didn't see him taking it from there, it's acceptable. Right. Gabi kalayim, when it comes to kalayim, it's even more lenient. Tanan, it says karam to a yerek. Let's say there's vegetables that are growing in a vineyard. The yerek nimkar chutzalai, and there's vegetables that are being sold right outside the vineyard. There's a little table, a little stand out there. And it said, the halacha is, Ba'aretz Tzitzasi, you're not allowed to buy those vegetables in the land of Israel. The Surya mutter, you're allowed to buy it in Syria. The Chutz La'aretz, in Chutz La'aretz, Yored V'leikit. The non-Jew can go in, collect those vegetables, but you can't take it in yourself. Okay, you're allowed to watch him taking it. You're allowed to even see that he's taking it from the Kalayim vineyard. Why are we lenient over here? Because the Kalayim outside the land of Israel is the Rabbanan. And Arla is not a derabanan. Arla is halach l'mesh misinai. Ela l'didach, but according to you, that it's just produce. Yeah. Doesn't even say it's the grapes. It could be the vegetables.
Oh, which
They're
is
both
grown
in the vineyard, yeah. But it doesn't matter.
Unless he's a Nazir.
Okay, El Didach, but according to you, that you say that both of them are rabbinic.
What's that little circle next to it?
Yeah, that usually goes to the Gillian Ashas. It's Rabbi Kiveger.
Okay.
It's hiding somewhere on the page. You have a crowded page. I don't have so much. Okay. But according to you, we're on top of Lamites. Nisni, Oisev is a yard v'leiket, Oisev is a yard v'leiket. Let it say either yard v'leikech, either both of them you could go and buy, or say by both of them you can go and collect. Go in, which means the non-Jew can actually take it while you're there. So Ula is asking a question to Rabbi Yehuda. He says, according to you, that you said a teaching in the name of Shmuel that Arla is rabbinic and Kalayim is rabbinic. So then why do you see a distinction between, in that case, outside the land of Israel? Okay, so Amalei Shmuel or Rabbanan, we give an answer. Shmuel told to Rabbanan, Tani, when you teach that Mishnah, you have to adjust it. By both of them, it should be equal. Make it symmetrical, that either both of them you go and buy, or by both of them you go and collect. That's one way of answering a contradiction or a question. Mar, the son of Ravna, taught at Lakulas Evaz a yard beloikit, that the non-Jew can actually collect it in front of you. But you can't do the collecting of that produce of the Arla. Amalei Levi, okay. So Amalei Levi Lishmuel, Levi was a student of Rebbe. He says to Shmuel, he tells him Aryech. Aryech means like king. How do they translate over there? King.
So Goyim just need to keep the 7 Noahide laws. They don't necessarily have to keep laws of the Orla.
Right. Right. Tells to Shmuel, Sapik lo ibana eichel. I think it's probably Sapik li. Feed me. What do you have? Sapik li or Sapik li? Oh, I have li. So interesting. So yeah, Sapik li means like feed me, supply, and I will eat it, which means that he's ready to eat Arla. Shmuel can pick it and feed it to who is it over here? Who's it going to feed it to Levi? Shmuel can pick it, feed it to Levi. Just don't tell me what it is, because it's a doubt. For me, it's a doubt. You even happen to know, but for me, it's a doubt. This is a great shalach manas. Can you imagine? You give a guy shalach manas that you can't eat, and he could. This is like a trivia question. How is it possible to give shalach manas something that for you is treif? And it's not because you're fleishik.
For you tea.
And for him, it's 100% kosher.
So if you're in a restaurant,
it's Arla, and he doesn't know that it's Arla, and it's outside the land of Israel. He's allowed to eat it. He doesn't even have to ask a question.
if you're in a restaurant and you're Jew serving a Jew, and you give him food that's not kosher, and he doesn't know that it's not kosher.
That's a problem. They can't eat it. It's not kosher.
Right, but he doesn't know.
It doesn't matter. It's still not kosher. Here, we're saying that because it's Arla outside the land of Israel is only if it's definitely Arla. But if it's not definitely Arla, then it's permissible because it's Arla. It's not a biblical law outside the land of Israel. So if it's a doubt, you don't have to find out. It's so lenient that you don't even have to find out the doubt. That's what he's saying. That you don't even have to check it out. I don't know. It's kosher. It's only if it's definite that it's a problem. Okay, Rav Avia.
That would be nice with the restaurant. I don't know if it's not kosher. I don't know.
Call the mashkiach. Rav Avia v'Rabba bar Rav Chanan mesafkus fukila dadi. Rav Avia and Rabba bar Rav Chanan, they would actually feed each other. This guy would take his arla, feed it to his friend. He would take his arla, feed it to his friend, and none of them knew.
They couldn't have it.
They would.
Both had a moon.
Amri Charifi de Pumpadisa, the sharp people of Pumpadisa, which we happen to know their names, Efen Avimi, the sons of Rachba, Pumpadisa, they said, Ein Arla b'chuslaretz. There's no such thing as Arla and chuslaretz. There's no problem of Arla. Fruits of the first 3 years, there's no problem outside the land of Israel. Shalchle Rav Yehuda l'kamid Rav Yochanan. Rav Yehuda sends to Rav Yochanan, Shalachle says, sent to him. Not sure how that works. I guess that's a continuation of Shalcha. He sent to him the following message: Stoim Sveika. Conceal the halacha regarding Sveika that it's mutter. Don't tell anyone that doubtful Arla is mutter. Don't let people know about this. Avad Vada. And if there is definite Arla, don't feed it to someone that doesn't know about it. You should actually destroy it. If you know there's Arla, you should destroy it. And you should announce that people that are lenient about this, their fruits need to be hidden away or destroyed. And anyone that says that there's no Arla in Chutzlaretz, which is Charifi, the Pumpadisa said that, they should not have children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. Quotes this pasuk. They're throwing the rope in the congregation of Hashem. Yeah. But who do the Charifi de Pumpadisa hold? Like, how did they come up with this leniency? And Rav Yehuda is sending to Rabbi Yochanan, they have to be so strict. Tanya, they have a source. It says Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yossi ben Dermaska. Sham Mishum Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Sham Mishum Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. Sham Mishum Rabbi Lezer Agadol. Wow. This makes its way all the way
Wasn't
back
there
to
a
Rabbi Lezer ben
Dermaska?
Hyrcanus.
Was there once a derogatory way of using? Yes.
Dermaska?
Ben Dermaska. I
Uh-huh.
don't know. Just a little trigger that was.
We'll do a search. Ein Arla b'chutz laaretz. There's no Arla in chutz laaretz. That's what he said, and that's where they got it from. That there's no Arla in chutz laaretz outside the land of Israel. Where it says V'loi, there's no Arla in chutz laaretz, and you're telling me that this in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, Rabbi Lezer Agadol, Rabbi Lezer the Great. It's but we have a problem with that because Vanan Tanan, Rabbi Lezer Eimer Afa Chadash, Rabbi Eliezer rather, he said. Not only is Arla a problem, not only is Kalayim a problem, but Chadash is also a problem in Chutz. Now you're telling me there's no Arla? He said even Chadash, which he was adding on to Arla. So the Gemara says Tini Chadash. What you should do is don't say Af Arla, Af Chadash, also Chadash, which means that Arla is a problem. Just say Chadash is a problem, but Arla he holds is not a problem. You drop the word Af, which means even. Drop the word even. And then he holds just Chadash, just the new grain is a problem outside the land of Israel. Amar Rabasi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabasi says the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Arla b'chutz laaretz halach l'Moshe miSinai. Arla in chutz laaretz is a tradition from Moshe. Amar le Reb Zeir le Rabasi. So Reb Zeir says to Rabasi, or it could be Rabasi says to Rabbi Yochanan, according to this version of the Gra. V'hatanya, we have a brisa. Safik Arla Baretz Aser, Asura Mutter, and B'chutz Laaretz Yerid V'Loiket. If it's Allah L'Mesh Misinai, so why are you being totally lenient in Chutz Laaretz? Why are you saying that you're allowed to go and collect, that you're allowed to take it? If it's a doubt, it should be Aser. It's Allah L'Mesh Misinai, it's not a Derabanan. Shtoimim Kishachad, he was silent for an hour. Amalei, then he tells him, Ema Kach Nemar, Sveika Mutter. The Halacha L'Moshe Misinai tells me, not, you see, there's two ways of viewing this. We were understanding that Arla in Chutz Laaretz is Aser because of Halacha L'Moshe Misinai. What do you do when there's a doubt? You're going to be lenient. He has a question. If it's Halacha L'Moshe Misinai, why are you leaning into the doubt? The Halacha L'Moshe Misinai is like a deraisa. So he says, no. The Halacha L'Moshe Misinai tells me that Vada is Aser and Sveika is Mutter. The Halacha L'Moshe Misinai itself contains the law about the suffix, that a suffix is Mutter, that it's only a Vada that's Aser. Vada Aser and a Vada is Aser. That is the Halacha L'Moshe Misinai. That explains, by the way, why are we lenient by rabbinic law? It's because rabbinic law is not important. Whenever there's a doubt about rabbinic law, we say, okay, it's only a derabanan, it could be lenient.
So
the reason is because the rabbis only instituted when it's a definite problem. The rabbis never said it on a suffix. That's why it's not that we're lenient, but it could be that it's really a problem. But don't worry about it because it's rabbinic. That's not how it works. The rabbis said that it's a problem when it's a definite problem. It's not definite. The rabbis didn't say it's a problem. It's not that we don't take it serious. Amar Rabasi, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabasi says, "Name Rabbi Yochanan, Leiken ala Kilayim, Dvar Torah. Gemalkas for Kilayim." Must be talking about outside the land of Israel. Amalei Rabbi Lazar Bar Yossi. I don't know how Rabbi Lazar Bar Yossi is talking to Rabasi. Let me see if there's some
different generations.
So Amalei, the Gra takes it out. Okay. Amalei, so it must be Rabasi tells to Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Lazar Bar Yossi was a son of Rabbi Yossi, was a Tana. Unless it's another one that we're not familiar with. Tzarech loymar. Oh, the Yavitz also takes it out. Okay. Vanan Tanan, but we have a mission that says Hakalayim Divrei Seifrim. What do you mean you get Malchus? It's only rabbinic. It says like Kasha, it's not a problem. Kan b'Kalayim Kerem, kan b'Kambar Kavasilan. Depends which type of Kalayim. Could be Kalayim, could be produce in a vineyard is grain in a vineyard is rabbinic, but grafting fruit trees is biblical. Kiddush Shmuel, like Shmuel says, Damar Shmuel, es chukai say tishmeru, you should keep my statutes. Those statutes that I gave to you, which are you can't mix two animals, you can't crossbreed two animals, and you can't plant in your field forbidden mixtures. Just like crossbreeding would mean that you would have to mate them, you'd have to, what's it called, husbandry or something. So also, when it comes to your field, it's referring to grafting. Just like you can't crossbreed outside the land of Israel. Also, when it comes to the field, it applies, which means grafting, applies even outside the land of Israel. So why did it say your field? Which sounds like only in the land of Israel. It says it's telling you that when it comes to seeds of planting seeds in Chutz La'aretz, that's going to be permissible. Okay, let's leave it right here. We're up to Rav Chanan. No, we're not really ahead. Today's daf is Lamed Tes. You could learn tonight. You want to learn tonight?
No, what's it?
Today should be 39.
Yeah,
No, I don't want
Thursday, right?
You want to leave it?
Yeah. I might go to the beach.
It's only an
Today is
hour.
what?
It's only an hour, right?
Today's Thursday, and
And it's Lamed Ches.
I could check.
No, it can't be.
I could check.
Lamed Tes is today.
should be
Or
Lamed
the
Tes.
Science Old